My name is Ali Ifan Shazali. I was born in KL and I just graduated from Bachelor of Arts in Architecture in Manchester School of Architecture. And yeah, I just got back in Malaysia. It was actually inspired by my final year design project. And when I was in my back then in Manchester, we had a studio design unit, and each unit has its own direction and approach. And I was in a unit called Advanced Practice, where its approach is inclined towards experiment and exploration, where it's as a platform for sustainable and innovation design. So, the theme during that time was performative pattern. So, to me, pattern is something that is natural, and what is natural to me is I want to explore more on lighting pattern. So those lighting pattern I implement on my works, and this work I thought was cool to bring it out even after I graduate, and yeah, it's a extended design research for my project. To be honest, to me, pattern can be anything, and it is up on individual on how to define it. To me, pattern is natural features, and the theme that I was working on was performative pattern, and performative pattern is literally what it means, pattern that performs. So I define it as a impactful natural features. So I want to take nature into something that is can improve humans' quality in a way that humans' health. I started with Rhino. So Rhino is a 3D modeling software. As you may know or may not know, it's just the same like SketchUp, but with more advanced commands and tools. And in Rhino itself, it has plugins, and one of those plugins is called Grasshopper. So Grasshopper is a computational design software. You can explore multiple design options. You can automate repetitive tasks. You can test your design performance. So I generate those patterns you have to learn computational language and coding design. But I think what matters is how you start it, and once you started it, and you will get off everything, and yeah, that's fine. I was thinking of to do more exhibition, and I got another invitation on exhibition as well for the next year, and I was thinking of keeping it in the form of artwork before I can actually go into production of an actual product which can use in daily life, like for interior design, for example, as a wall partition or wall screen or for events or wall decoration. Yeah.
My name is Zuhai Shahid from the Kabata. So I'm the cake designer for the Kabata, and I'm doing it for part-time. And I work as an architect, design architect. So working day as an architect and night as a baker. The podcast starts from late 2018. Before that, I learned baking actually. So during my previous year at University Malaya, so I always bake for my friends and even my lecturers. So we just share our foods together, bake for them casually, almost every week. So from there, I started to sell the cakes as a part-time student to make extra money. And then I also love doing arts, anything fine arts, something like modeling, like building models, sculptures. So from there, maybe I try to explore between two combination of baking and also fine arts. So from there, like Maka started with more explorating of designing cakes. So it's not just a cake but it's also as an artist. So usually people will buy the cakes for the wedding, for the event, so they want something that is more thematized, cake and cakes. Yeah. I'm fascinated with textures and layers of textures, patterns, and also subtle colors, more diluted colors. So you can see for my artworks, mostly are more very painting and also very subtle and also thematized with nature. So for the style of movement, I'm holding with the movement of animal. I wish that I can get my own exhibition for my artworks, and maybe one day we can collaborate with other artists so that we can fit the artists.
My name is Jali. I'm the founder for a printmaking studio called Studio Sunprint. My practice is basically an art and design studio where we work with anything that is inspired by nature, from nature, and revolves around the theme of, ecology and society, and community. Well, I actually quit my job from the architecture industry, and then I started a bed and breakfast in my hometown, Langkawi. So that's when I actually began to start explore the nature around me, and somehow I found printmaking, I found cyanotype, and that sort of organically became what I explored until today. Well, at the moment, because I concentrate a lot on cyanotype, it's chemical based actually. So while it is not toxic, it is still an irritant. But slowly from there, I want to venture in a more natural, more eco-friendly chemicals. So that's when I try myself a little bit into natural pigments and photosensitive pigments that can be available right outdoor, right in nature. Yeah. The challenges is the weather, because although we are sunny all year round, we have monsoon seasons, and cyanotype relies a lot on the weather and the sun. So like now, these days, that's why you see I have a different monsoon project, which is the printmaking that relies more on color pigments as opposed to the light. Yeah. My future plan is to collaborate with more scientists or more natural dye artists or researchers, so that I could, well, in a sense, collaborate with them, like what I could added value to their work as well as their work to added value on my work and research as well.
Hi, I'm Kirin from Bunga dan Bintang. I'm an illustrator, a designer. I studied architecture, but when I get back from Indonesia after I graduated, I couldn't decide whether to practice as an architecture or to go for the academic line. But in between that decision process, suddenly I discovered that I love to illustrate so much. And that is how Bunga dan Bintang started. My artworks are usually about the connection of human and nature, which is also known as biophilia. So I always draw plants in big scale, but humans in smaller scale. So I use both traditional and digital, but most of my artworks are digital illustration. For some, the process is always started with sketches, hand sketches, and then transferred into drawing tablet. I always have this dream of having bunga dan bintang illustration on cereal boxes. I think it will be cute and fun to eat with bunga dan bintang illustration.
My name is Farah Mohan. I'm a founder and designer of Novak Batik. That's what I do. I start Novak Batik since 2015, actually, right away after graduation. Like I say, I started back in 2015, but I only did design only, and then I give my design to batik maker to do it. But after a while, I decided to just take control of the chanting, so I do self-taught in 2017, and that's how it started. I graduate from architecture school, so my first approach was like more into architecture-ish, like Art Deco, Art Nouveau, like that. So many lines, that's one of the reasons they having a hard time to keep up with my design with so many lines. But now I think it's a bit more like I'm doing more painting. I don't really do like design on clothes anymore. Mostly painting. Yeah. The medium is batik fabric, because batik, if you want to do batik, they have a specific fabric that you need to use. You can't just use any kind of fabric, and then you use dye fabric, and then you got wax on top. Then you put the color. It's just like watercolor. I have a lot actually. In fact, I wasn't even planning to do painting, but I somehow end up doing painting anyway. Like you see here, we are venturing into home decor, like batik and home decor, but make it contemporary. Not the classic one. It's contemporary bit.
Okay, so my name is Aisha Hashim, and right now I am a graduate architect. So right now, I'm doing architecture, but this is my side stuff. Basically, Kala East Coast is something that a journey of me paying homage to my hometown in a way. So it's just in an architecture world which is busy life, and just like this is where I try to escape and find the beauty in the nature in a way. So it started off when I can't really make a plant live, so most of my plant died. So I suppose, okay, let's make things with these dead plants, and then I find the fascination and how beauty can get when it is died and when it's dead. So this is what happened. It's coming from a failure and turns to hobby, and then now it turns out something like this. The type of plants mostly is grass based. So what you can see over here, this is like pampas, and then what you're seeing here, this is ferns, and it's actually this one. It's local, but most of them are from overseas, because it's kind of grass in a temperate climate countries. So yeah, and if it's local, I have to dry it myself in a way. Yeah. The processes are, for example, because this is like the normal, this is like coming from, it's coming from local ones, so it took me 2 months to get it to this golden color. So it's just a process of let it die slowly. Okay, so yeah, and then for example, like over here, It's called ginger flower. So it's tropical flowers. So it took me about 2 months as well. So most of it, it took me 2 months to dry it out. And most of the other stuff, I just buy it from my stockist because this is like imported grasses. Future plans would be, I think I forgot to tell about Kala East Coast is actually an accumulation of small things, accumulation of things, but eventually it'll make up a space. So what I'm trying to say over there is it's a collection of the mini things that will kind of be featured in a space, but eventually I'm thinking about maybe even space and contribute to events as a part of a decoration. And yeah, because I can see the potential of it to grow and fill a space with this. So yeah, that's about it.
Hi, my name is Nura Ashki binti Razali. I'm admin for company Shutter Motion Studio. So our company consists of 4 members, which is Ashraf Razak, is the videographer and photographer, and also a head of department Shutter Motion Studio. So the second one is Ahmad Hafiz, we call as a Izu. He is a editor for Shutter Motion Studio and also videographer. And then we also have 2 members, which is Luke Agustin and Faris Jumayo. So our company was started on 25 2018. So almost 2 years we run our company as a photography and videography. And our company based in Shah Alam, section 22. Okay, the type of content we more focus on photography and videography, and also short film and documentaries. And our company more focus on wedding also. Okay, our concept is more to cinematography, which is untuk berkait rapat dengan biophilic, kita orang more fokus on nature juga, which is kita orang punya wedding more banyak lebihkan background dengan nature, macam laut and trees dekat dalam hutan semua, and untuk menampakkan kita orang punya cinematography, so bermain dengan colour and editing and so on. Untuk bercerita pasal cinematography, so kita orang kalau foto, kita orang akan gunakan lighting and portable lighting for shooting model, fashion or outdoor wedding. So untuk membezakan antara company kita orang dengan company yang lain. And also kalau video, kita orang more to cinematography, and cinematography tu kita orang bermain dengan angle camera yang lain daripada lain. So far our company Shutter Motion Studio, kita orang dah buat projek bersama Persatuan Jurulatih Bola Sepak Malaysia, and then Mary Kay, and also artist which is Elina Haris and her wedding, and kita orang collaborate dengan TV3 Maliga Cinta. And then kita orang kalau content YouTube, kita orang bersama dengan Hafiz Nasir. And untuk muzik video pula, kita orang pernah collaborate dengan Riz Yusri, travel magazine, which is kita orang tak pernah lagi buat travel magazine untuk TV punya, TV show. Kalau consist of macam travel magazine untuk production lain, kita orang dah pernah buat, but so far kalau untuk release dekat TV, kita orang tak pernah lagi.
Hi, my name is Alia. So basically my background, I majored in fashion design, and then after I graduated, I worked with a local company, fashion local company for almost 2 years, and then after that I decided to quit. And I decided to quit, and then that's why I created Leia. Actually an accidental discovery, because I mean, like after I quit, right, I was like, I think I need to study. I think I need a new skill for me to learn. And then I was like, okay. And then I stumbled upon hand block printing on YouTube. So I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. So that's why from there I started learning how to do handboard printing carving. To be honest, my inspiration, I actually inspired by my surroundings and also my mood at the moment. So I wouldn't say that I only inspired by plants. It's just according to my feeling at that time. So yeah, it's actually really therapeutic for me. It's very relaxing because it's a slow process, and for carving you need to have patience. So yeah, hopefully, I would love to collaborate more with creatives people, because I think it's really important for us creatives to share our creative knowledge and also to have a better understanding what we're doing for both parties.
And we are Kawan Hijau. I am Munira Izzah, you can call me Moon, and this is my collaboration partner.
Hello, I'm Zafran Abdul Aziz, and you can call me Zaf.
Okay. So we are both practicing architect in KL. We are full-time architect and part-time plantsman and resin maker. So Kawan Hijau started since 2017. Where it started as a hobby in collecting indoor plants, cactuses and succulents, and after that we ventured into small business.
Okay, basically particularly for this exhibition, we are exploring on the material itself, which is resin, and the theme for the resin that we are using is we classified into 3 different types. First one is pu alam. Second one is pegon, and third one is alami.
So this is we call it kaku beku project. Yeah. So pualaman is actually a Malay term, which is a marbling technique that we use in producing our marbling series, pualaman series.
And also for the second one, for the pegon series, actually it's a preservation techniques whereby we use all the natural flowers which has been dried, natural stone and also natural timber. This technique actually sort of like to document all types of plants which is still capturing their original forms and colors and their uniqueness. So it's like a mummification of the plant itself.
So in future, I think we want to venture more into industrial design or public design, where we can also implement the same materials and combining it, for example, with woods, so we can translate it as a furniture, a table, or etc. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Shaza Yunus. A lot of people just call me Shaz, and this is my warung. Well, actually, like me and my friends, we like to lepak a lot. So we started off there, I guess, because I like to doodle, and when we lepak and stuff, I would just like doodle things and stuff. And then my friends started going overseas to continue study, and then I would just like doodle and then give them my doodles like, oh, do you miss nasi lemak or something? So it started off there and people started wanting products from it. My graphic style, I think, is kind of like clean. I like clean outlines, and the colors that I use are very bright. very, how do you say it, like fun. I want it to look fun, yeah. A lot actually, because I started with paintings. I started with sketching, doodling, and then I do paintings a lot. So I start doing that on canvases, but it's people like products more, so I start doing on fabrics and print on paper. So that's how I test a lot of mediums, a lot of tools and mediums, yeah. I like to explore more on fabric actually, like there are different types of printing on fabric, like maybe batik, or there's like digital printing, there's batik, there's like you can paint on them, so I think more on fabric, yeah.
Hi, my name is Shai.
My name is Eddie.
And we are Concrete Face. Basically, we have a strong design background, I would say. We both are architects and we are husband and wife. We mostly deals with illustrations, 3D modeling, design making, but this is like a new venture for us, product design. So yeah, I think we are quite new lah. We started off in 2017, both of us. Actually, we are very curious on how cement works, how concrete works, and how they cure, the curing process, using different molds. And then I think we are fascinated.
From there, we try to, unlike using cement where the color is grey, we intend to have more color in it. So we explore on the pigment,
vibrant pigments color.
Vibrant pigment color that is infused with the cement concrete.
So it's more of a colorful concrete instead of just the normal grey color. Our product is, we inspired much from landscape because of the color that we chooses is very soft tones, and most of the colors is most likely like plants colors,
natural
soil, stones. So it's, we inspired much from there landscape, and then all the layerings, they are different. Not all products, they look similar, but they're not identical and they're not typical.
The outcome of color always different from one another.
Yeah, I would say we also embrace how the concrete surfaces, the texture that they come up.
Yeah.
We never know how they will look like, the outcome. So I think we embrace it as a...
We embrace the imperfection.
Yeah, imperfection of concrete basically.
The color, basically we try to choose what type of color that is suit for the themes. Some of it we based on landscape. The sea is blue, the land and the tree is green. The process, basically we sketch first, and then we do what's called that, cardboard mock-up.
Cardboard mock-ups, yeah.
Cardboard mock-up, and then we start to
cutouts, and then we stitch it together, become, for example, like we wanted to have this kind of shape, so we cut out the cardboard first, and then we stitch it together, and then we pour our mixture on it. But then after through times
once we more comfortable with the design, we start doing the laser cutting and 3D printing.
And silicone molds. Yeah, definitely. I think if we can have a bigger sculpture that we can make.
I think we're planning into venture into maybe doing a table or chairs, furnitures, and then maybe a feature wall, a bigger set of piece, concrete piece.
Rather than just decorative elements, small items. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Aslabi Adnan and I'm from Kedah. So I graduated my master in University of Westminster under the tutelage of Atta Mamumani. So that's basically where I started to develop my interest in parametric design, because I was in Design Studio 10, which focuses on advanced design, architectural design. So that's where I first actually first started to learn about parametric design and also first started to use the correct software that actually utilizes the parametric design technically. So basically, it started out with my studio base because we had a brief of doing advanced design. So it's part of our work throughout the year. So that's where I started to learn because we had class during university and at the same time I started to figure out by myself because I'm kind of like a quick learner, so I like to learn stuff that I actually interested in. So I started to browse through video, YouTube and everything just to get the sense of how to actually use it. Yeah. So basically the Polyreef started out because the theme for this year's New Artisan is the Feelin Biophilic, which is the love of nature. So based on my study years, I learned that there's a lot of parametric inspiration that can be taken from nature itself. So one of the thing that most interests me is how coral reefs, how the characteristic of the coral reef itself is technically parametric in itself. So I try to figure out how to translate those into a physical, into a digital and then back to physical using a different method of producing it. So the Polyreef started out from just a biomimicry, which is just a tracing of the polyreef, and I started to use my parametric skills just to develop it into a more feasible, and like the nature of nature itself is very interesting and how it creates a solids out of how do you say, a very intriguing matter. So the way I approach is how to create the solids into a flat sheet material. So that's how Polyreef developed from a very organic shape into a flat material that can produce back the organic shape. Because technically the first initial plan was to use aluminium sheet because that's the aluminium sheet has a strength that corresponds to how the exoskeleton of the Polyreef itself. So that's why I'm going to proceed with this design, just taking it to the next level, just using a more rigid, a more structurally sound material to produce technically either the same thing or just developing the design further. I actually hope so because this technically, like I mentioned previously, this is my very first built installation, so I'm looking ahead now just to see what else that I can do and with whom I can actually collaborate.
Hi, my name is Aisyah Mokhtar. I'm an educator in KL. I've been teaching architecture design school since 2015. I'm actually a mother of one and also an architecture designer, freelance. Okay. I think just like everybody else, like even during quarantine, everybody was looking for something to, maybe really stress or finding something to actually just give hope. So I think I turned into gardening because I have like a small land in my home. And then that turns into a passion. And then slowly I'm just becoming like an obsessive plants hoarder. That's how I slowly started Green Lab. Because I think I've been starting small business since forever. So I think starting Green Lab was just natural to me. And I just want to share the love of plants with everybody else. And it turns out there's so many people out there who want to buy plants for their home. So that's how I started Green Lab. Okay, so this installation actually, I think it just came natural to me. I think I'm just waiting for the right moment. And thank you to New Artisans for the platform. Finally, I really had the chance to actually build something. So I think like I said before, this language or this shape or form, actually I've been developing it through years. I think I'm just waiting for the right time to actually build it to physical. And this botanical heaven is actually like my obsession towards everyday things, like like I said before, where sometimes we take for granted our everyday moments. So little things, we go out to work, we come back from work, and then these spaces that we go through every day, like your living room, your house, sometimes we take for granted. So I just wanted something to memorize that. And I think this is sort of like a personal reflection for my work and also for myself. And for me, that this is just like a personal OD of my garden. And I just hope that everybody else also feels the same, what I was feeling in my garden as well. I think like everybody else, for a start, I think for me, I was very fortunate enough to actually be able to produce something throughout this pandemic, and I'm pretty sure there are other people out there having difficulties. So I think that, like I said, it's a sort of like a reflection for myself and be grateful for what I have. And the challenges that I was facing like throughout this entire design process, probably getting the resources, just because to build something that is maybe a bit complex in terms of form, I had to find a way to actually build it economically, and also of course in terms of budget, it was a bit tight. So I had to be creative to work around the scene, right? So I was fortunate enough to have friends to actually give a few contacts, how to actually done CNC cutting. I've never done CNC cutting before. So that was a bit of series of challenge, but I think it's a small challenge. I think everybody designer go through it.
We are Akila and Farhana from Projek SembangSembang. We are a team of two. We always tell people we are a team of merchandise maker, dreamy designer and witty writer, because I think that's the best description of our brand. SembangSembang started as a hobby. We sembang-sembang and then we weren't sure what we are. We started doodling and then writing puns and then writing relatable content, and then somehow we did our first postcard. Eventually we took in commission jobs. People started hiring us, and then we started making more merchandise, more prints, from postcards to posters to stickers to tote bags to t-shirts, and then here we are. Theme would be, we will always try to relate according to occasions. Like we produce things during holidays, during alternative holidays, alternative celebrations of World Encephalitis Day, but then I think the most signature identity of our brand would be quirky illustration, pop colors, also the signature handwritten font. We started out doing very manual work. We've been drawing and sketching and writing on paper and ambil gambar and then do some contrast to it and then Photoshop whatnot, and then we kumpul duit and bought iPad, and then we are now very loyal users of the Procreate to do our work. To be honest, we are always admirers of the art scene that we see in Singapore, in Indonesia, because they are very supportive of each other, whether you're starting or you're already known. So I think that is what we are trying to bring here. We have a lot, I tell you, plenty of very talented local art talents that need to be brought up. What they only need is exposure. So we needed that when we started. So this is what we are doing back. So we try to ajak illustrators to collaborate or ask them to just have a chat and see what we can help you with. I'm not sure when the video is out, the product will be out. So I hope this will also be like an advertisement. What we have in plan right now is a collaboration with 9 local illustrators. We are producing wall calendars. So it's a project of 10 kawan-kawan. 1 + 9 designers. For SembangSembang, we hope we can grow more in producing more relatable merchandise, and I think we can't get here with supporters and fans. So we really hope everyone buy our stuffs. The more you buy, the more we produce. So support us, and then hope that we can reach out to other regions as well, especially Indonesia and Singapore. Harap-harap border buka, kita boleh pergi Singapore ya.